Alright, here we go. Project Tmaxx. This, its newest form is brushless. It is a Tmaxx, it's a dynamite chassis. You guys have seen this before. Same stuff you've seen before. I do like to show off this cool secondary suspension. It works so good. It's amazing. Anyway, I've only got one set of shocks on it right now because I've tried to soften it up, actually, to kind of rock crawl it, four-wheel it. Now, this is the front of the car. Note, steering in front. So there's our 8th scale brushless motor. I think that's a 22 kV. It's an HPI setup that I have in it. Speed control. Actually got the receiver mounted in a balloon just right there on the front of the chassis. Now this Tmaxx has a center differential in it that I took out of an 8 scale car. 8 scale buggy. But the problem I ran into was I had a hard time getting my gear ratios low enough. I've got a real large spur gear, about the biggest I could fit on that 8 scale center diff, which is just it was out of Ultra LX. It's, you know, just a standard. This is out of a nitro one, so it's got the front and rear disc brakes, but it's the same thing. Center differential. I ended up taking off around 500 grams of weight, if you can believe that, by losing the huge Tmaxx 2-speed transmission. Now this is only 1 speed, but it's more than ample. Part of the reason why I was able to take so much weight off is because I had a lot of Robinson Racing gears in that transmission. And they proved to be strong, but boy, it was a lot of reciprocating mass and really heavy. So I had problems because you don't really have too many options in gearing down the differentials of a Tmaxx. So what I did to compensate for that is I built this gear reduction. So what it is I'm running a 14 tooth as my primary pinion. And then the drive gear on the countershaft is actually a 28. I've got 2 different countershafts. The other countershaft I can put any size Mod 1 5mm pinion on it I want. So my gear ratios are, the selection is almost endless. So I've got this is a 15 going on to my spur right here. I don't know if you can see it. And so I've got I set that pinion, that gear mesh first. They're rolling on 8x16mm bearings on in here and in the inner motor plate. You can't see it because it's behind that gear. So on this one I actually have that 28 tooth actually welded on the shaft, but the other shaft I use where I run a 22 or whatever, it's just a shaft with the flattened spots for the set screws on the pinions. So anyway, with this right now I've got it geared down to, no, I haven't done the math to do the video. I should have, but it's basically I have, let's see, it's a 14 going on to a 28, so that's a 50-50 split right there, and then it's a 15 going on to a 50-tooth spur on the center diff. So it really gives me a lot of gear combinations. Now that's a forward mounted motor, so all the weight, I mean there's hardly anything on this chassis. Normally it's all totally full with a nitro motor and all that. Right there I've got a 3-cell in it, and I can move the battery forward to the front, or to the rear. I've been running 4-cell in it. I just put the 3-cell in it to see what it did. My tests so far have been really good. It's got ultra mounted, super low torque. There is a lot of gear noise. Got a lot of gears that are turning. I'll end up making some kind of a cover to try and keep debris out of the gears. But right now, it's got so much bottom end torque. That's how come I only have 1 set of shocks on it, because I'm kind of trying to set it up to, I don't know if you call it rock crawl or 4-wheel. We do the Jeep thing and everything, so 4-wheeling's kind of in our blood. And it's been set up to just really boogie and haul ass, but right now I've got it kind of set up in its newest form, and I'll do a running video and let you guys see what it actually does. It's quite the Tmaxx. It's got all the aftermarket parts. It's actually a dynamite chassis, so it is a little bit longer than the stock Tmaxx chassis. I've had this car for probably 15 years at least, and who knows how much money I've